Hi everybody, welcome back to 100% Mag. So Newcastle United, of course, took on Leeds United at St James Park tonight, 6 o'clock kickoff. And of course, as you can guess by the title of the video, Leeds United come away winners in the game, 2-1. And I've got to say, looking at the game, Newcastle played a much better game this time out. But of course, we still ended up losing the game. Miguel Almiron, of course, scored the only goal of the game for Newcastle. And I've got to say, the work-up play to get that goal was absolutely fantastic. And you could see, that Newcastle really were coming together on that move. And we came together quite well in the second half. I've got to say, we'll put in a really good performance in that half. And, if we just look at some of the stats from the game, of course, Newcastle came away with 42% possession to Leeds' 58% possession. Of course, we had 22 shots in the game to their 9. We had 5 on target to their 2. We had 9 corners to their 5 corners. We had 10 fouls to their 15 fouls. So Leeds were quite dirty tonight. And you could see that, because the players were going down quite a bit as well. They were going down quite easy, I thought, for Leeds. And, it reminded us somewhat of the old Don Revie days of Leeds United. It was quite filthy football from Marcelo Bielsa tonight. And that's something you don't really see from him. He's usually a bit more professional about his game. But Newcastle lined up tonight. Their lineup wasn't too bad. It could have been better. Of course, we had Shelvey and Hendrick in the centre of midfield. I would have rather liked to see Hayden and Shelvey in the centre of midfield. We did have the options to have a proper right back there, but for some reason Steve Bruce decided to go with the makeshift right back in Isaac Hayden. I know he can play right back, but for me, he's always more suited to that centre midfield role, the central defensive midfielder role, than the right back, especially when you've got the likes of Javi Manquillo sitting on the bench. You could have put Javi Manquillo in there, Steve, tonight, but for some reason you decided to go with Isaac Hayden. Of course, he still put a good shift in. Ryan Fraser got a game, who also put a good shift in tonight. I thought as well he was blazing down the wing forward. Murphy put in a really good shift as well in the game. Wilson got himself a couple of chances to get in there as well. Almiron was probably one of the standout performers yet again. And of course, we even seen Maxi come into the game as well, who absolutely tore Leeds United apart when he came on as well. I was absolutely pleased to bits to see him be able to get that momentum going, doing his skills, beating men right, left and centre, and it was just amazing to see him going around the Leeds United players, and if we can see more of that from Maxi now that he's back as well, will be even better. Leeds lined up with, of course, their usual lineup. They had Patrick Bamford up front. They had Rodrigo, Dallas, Harrison, and Rafinha in their attacking midfield positions. Phillips in the defensive midfield position. Then, of course, they had their goalkeeper in, who's just gone over COVID as well. But I thought Leeds were quite dirty tonight, in my opinion. Any Leeds fans watching, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. But for me, I thought Leeds were quite dirty tonight. Looking at the Premier League table after that game, of course, that means that Newcastle are now 16th in the Premier League, 19 points out of 20 games played. Leeds are now 12th in the Premier League, and of course they've got 26 out of 19 games played. And of course our next game is up against Everton at, of course, Goodison Park. They're firing on all cylinders at the moment under Carlo Ancelotti, who currently has them sitting 7th in the league. They are going into this one against us on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff down at Goodison Park, and they're going to be going into this one with 4 wins out of their last 5 games. So Newcastle's going to have to pick up the mentality that we took from the second half of this game, and we're going to have to go into that game against Everton and put in a really good performance. Of course, Leeds have got a day later, and they've got to take on away game down at the King Power Stadium against high-flying Leicester City, and that's going to be a 2 o'clock kickoff for that one. For Leeds United fans that are watching, good luck for that game for you. But you know, tonight I feel us Newcastle United fans should have been coming away from this game celebrating a win, because I thought Newcastle put in a really good performance, and it should have been a win tonight, or at least a point out of the game. But to lose 2-1 when such a great effort was put in by the lads in the second half of the game, and even in the first half, you know, we're putting somewhat of a good effort, you know, so we should have been coming away from this game with something. But it's really harsh to be coming away from this game with absolutely nothing at all, other than, of course, Almiron picking up 1 goal in the game. But you know, it just doesn't look good for Way at the moment. Steve Bruce has to go. It's absolutely definite, you know, that he has to go now, because the way things are going on, you can see, you know, it's just really getting bad now. And if he sticks around any longer, it's game over. It's game over for Way. It's going to be a repeat of the 15-16 season all over again. And you know, Ashley's leaving it later and later, and eventually when he does sack Steve Bruce, you know, it's going to be too late for the man coming in to take over and do the job, you know, be able to push the team and try and keep the team in the Premier League. It's making it harder for that guy that does eventually come in after Bruce, because, you know, Bruce is going to get sacked. You just know it. You know, but Ashley's taken forever to do it, and it's just not looking good for we at this moment in time anyway. But till next time, remember to please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all later. However, that's